So I think most people will agree that 2017 has been a pretty mediocre year for women's wrestling. The only real highlights of the year have been Alexa Bliss and Carmella. Aside from that, no one else has really progressed this year. If anything, most of them have regressed. You look at all the horsewomen and how much they've all fallen since WrestleMania, to the point where fans were starting to get sick of them. Sure, you had a few feel-good moments, such as Naomi and Natalya becoming champion, but then their reigns happened. Even NXT has had a pretty mediocre year as far as their women's division goes. Sure, you can say that maybe Asuka's reign was the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of time, but the fact is, NXT hasn't created any new stars since Bayley left. It's at the point where they just called up 5 new divas and not one of them actually accomplished anything in NXT. So there's been a lot more bad than good this year. But it feels like things are starting to turn around a little bit after the return of Amy Winehouse and the debut of 2 new NXT factions. On Raw, you have Mandy Rose, who debuted as the leader of a Tough Enough stable, and then on SmackDown, you have another stable that basically has the exact same gimmick as the one on Raw. Regardless, though, both divisions really needed the shakeup because both divisions have been stagnant and recycling the same feuds all year long. These factions provide a much needed change of pace. And so now there's going to be a women's Royal Rumble match, which is great. You can argue that Diva Battle Royals in general have always sucked, and you might be right, but a Divas Royal Rumble match is long overdue. It sure as hell beats whatever throwaway match they usually have at the Rumble, but they could also use the Rumble as one of the few times that we get to see divas from the past face off against divas from the present, which rarely ever happens. Plus, there's multiple ways that they can help make stars in a Rumble match, from the longest time to the most eliminations to the Final Four. So there's a lot of good that can come out of this match. As for who the winner's going to be, it seems pretty obvious that it's going to be Asuka. And honestly, unless there's a huge return or a big debut, it probably should be Asuka, since none of the horsewomen need it, none of the new stars are ready for it, and as much as we'd like them to use this match to revitalize someone like Mickie James or Dana Brooke, there's no way in hell that that's going to happen. Although I guess it is possible that they give the match to a SmackDown superstar or someone from Raw who they want to jump to SmackDown, since they don't really need to give Asuka the win in order to put her in the title match at WrestleMania. But I'm not really expecting that to happen. But I'll leave it at that for now and get more into it when we get more details about it. Just wanted to get one more video out there before the new year. Anyway, this has been MTO with the MTO More Reviews saying yada yada yada, blah blah blah.